You know what? I don't care. I'm going to keep doing my prospect lists because I know that you guys out there that watch these enjoy them and I enjoy making them. So let's go ahead and do my top 10 third base prospects in minor league baseball for the 2022 season. An absolutely loaded list. You'll probably know the guys at the top, but I got some new players for you to know at the bottom as well, and maybe even a couple in between that surprise you. Now, disclaimer, I know that Josh Jung just went down with an injury. This video doesn't take into account injuries going into this season because I feel like he's still just one of the best third base prospect, a top 10 guy for sure. So keep that in mind when I get to his section. Of course, I want to know some guys maybe that you think I miss out on in today's video, so drop those names down in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed, as well as subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the content. Follow me on all my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description, as well as check out my podcast, the Mets Up Podcast, and Rally Caps Podcast, a college baseball podcast, linked in the description. How many times can I say podcast? And without further ado, let's get going into this video. Getting the top 10 started at the number 10 spot, I've got Geloff, third baseman of the Oakland A's. Geloff was drafted in the second round last year out of the University of Virginia, and for his first year in pro ball, he looked pretty solid. Granted, small sample size, only 36 games, but in those 36 games, 7 homers, 9 doubles, a triple, and 30 RBI, 13 stolen bases, 333 average, 422 on base, 565 slugging, and a 988 OPS. This is for a guy who was one of the better hitters in college baseball the last few seasons with the University of Virginia. Geloff looks like he can be a nice corner piece for the Oakland A's. He's got a good approach. He's getting on base. Granted, that was at A-ball where he was about the average age of the players there, but the little bit of pop in his bat that he showed, the ability to be a pretty good base runner and get on base, puts Geloff in the top 10 for me at third base. At the number 9 spot, I've got a very interesting Arizona Diamondbacks prospect by the name of Davison De Los Santos. Now, this might not be a name that you're familiar with, but you should be. There's a reason I have him in my top 10 third baseman. This kid is extremely talented. He's 18 years old going into his 19-year-old season, and last year he played 62 games, majority of which at A-ball, where he was still 18 years old, playing against like 21-year-old players. Between A-ball and rookie ball, Davison, who by the way has a pretty impressive frame at like 6'2", 180, 8 homers, 16 doubles, 2 triples, and 37 RBI, hitting 295 with a 370 on base, 489 slugging, and 859 OPS. While he did dominate rookie ball and came a little bit more back to earth at A, the numbers across the board are really good, and for an 18-year-old who showed this amount of promise with the swing that he's got, I mean, you look at this dude, he's got the tools. He looks like he's gonna be a very big dude, and his swing looks really solid. I like everything out of Davison De Los Santos. Big shout out to James Jeter had no range on Twitter for putting me onto Davison. This is a guy to keep an eye out for going into the 2022 minor league season because I feel like he could be someone who flies up some boards with another strong season. For the 8th best third base prospect in minor league baseball, Boston Red Sox, Blaze Jordan. Now, you might know Blaze Jordan. The name is unbelievable. He was a highly touted prospect coming out of high school. He also made a name for himself by hitting mammoth home runs on YouTube during his high school days and middle school days. He was penned to be like the next Bryce Harper. And to be honest, Blaze has kind of lived up to the hype. He's been really good after being a third-round pick in 2020 by the Red Sox. Last year, again, small sample, but in 28 games, he hit 6 homers, 8 doubles, and a triple with 26 RBIs, 324 average, 368 on base, 591 slugging, and 959 OPS. The biggest concern with Blaze will be whether or not he is truly a third baseman, and there are some doubts. Fielding is not his strong suit, but at the plate, Blaze absolutely mashes, puts up big exit velos, barrels up the ball at an extremely high rate. His bat-to-ball skills are extremely impressive for someone at 18, 19 years old. It's just, will he ever fill into a position that's outside of first base? That's the biggest question still because of how good his bat is. He comes at number 8 for me. Next up at the number 7 spot, I've got an Australian, a man from down under, Curtis Mead of the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, Curtis Mead kind of falls into this group of, well, he plays third base, but he's probably going to also play a little second, a little first, maybe even find his way into the outfield. He will be a utility player used by the Rays when he gets to the major league level. Last year, though, in the minors, Curtis Mead, as a 20-year-old, looked really strong, playing between A and high A. 15 homers, 38 doubles. I mean, when you see 38 doubles for a player that is that young, plus the 15 homers, I mean, you feel like the power is just going to come for Curtis Mead. And to be honest, 6'2", 170, I mean, he's got some room to really bulk up here. The power could really start to surge next year. He also drove in 69 RBIs. Nice. 321 average, 378 on base, 533 slugging, 911 OPS. At the plate, he's an absolute beast. Came from the Phillies organization. The Rays took him and made him even better. These Australian prospects, they're a little bit of fun. And Curtis Mead is definitely a guy you should mark down. Super interesting prospect in the Rays farm system. Also, like, I love an Australian out there. That's sick. Just missing out on the top 5. Coming in at number 6, I've got New York Mets third base prospect Mark Vientos. Vientos has had an interesting minor league career. Like, right before the pandemic, you were kind of like, he might not have it. But 2021, Vientos completely shifted that narrative and went back to being an absolute beast at the plate like we saw in 2018 in rookie ball. Last year, he spent time between AA and AAA as a 21-year-old. Again, way below the average age group. 25 homers, 18 doubles, 63 RBIs, hitting 281 with a 352 on base, 581 slugging, and a 933 OPS. The power, the bat, it's definitely there. The biggest concern with Vientos, kind of like a couple of the other guys we've mentioned, his ability to play third base. Will he end up being a third baseman in the future? Probably not. They tried him out at first base. They tried him out in the corner outfield. They're going to find a way to get his bat into the lineup because it is that good. Even with the high strikeout rate that he did have, he cut it down massively towards the second half of last year. Vientos' career has kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster, but right now he keeps on climbing up and the talent for sure is there. So Mark Vientos to me just outside the top 5 best third baseman in minor league baseball. Plus, you know, his name's Mark. It's a great name. No bias there. Getting the top 5 started at the number 5 spot, one of my favorite third base prospects. Honestly, one of my favorite prospects in all of minor league baseball. It's Coby Mayo, and you've heard me talk about him in many videos. I'll continue to say I was on this guy before a lot of people. I was hyping up Coby Mayo when he got drafted by the Orioles in the 4th round last year out of Stoneman Douglas. He's an absolute stud, and we saw it in 2021 where he played 53 games between rookie ball and A ball, and he just mashed 9 homers, 14 doubles, a triple, and 41 RBI, stealing 11 bases, hitting 319 with a 426 on base, 555 slugging, and 981 OPS. He's also a mammoth human being, 6'5", 215. He has major power potential. He can also play third base at a really good level. Like, he's a very good athlete. That was the biggest concern, was his athleticism and the ability to consistently repeat his swing at a professional level. And I feel like Coby Mayo has kind of silenced those questions. He looked like a beast last year at the plate. He's been putting in a lot of work this offseason. Coby Mayo's a guy that I've been extremely high on since I first saw him swing, and you're starting to see his name pop up a little bit more. If you can get your hands on some Coby Mayo cards, I would do it. He's my favorite prospect probably in minor league baseball right now that you haven't heard of. Coming in at the number 4 spot, we've got another New York Met, and I swear it's not the Mets bias. These guys are just good. You've probably heard of this guy. It's Brett Baty. Now, Brett Baty is a guy that I think kind of had a little bit of like almost people didn't trust him enough because he was a bigger dude playing third base. There was concerns whether he was going to stick there or not. But in 2021, again, just like Vientos, he kind of silenced the doubters. In 91 games, Baty hit 12 homers, 22 doubles, and a triple with 56 RBIs, hitting 292 with a 382 on base, 473 slugging, and 855 OPS. Baseball America loves this guy. They put him number 39 in their top 100. Baseball Prospectus loves him even more, number 13. He's got great exit velos, great barrel rates, a great approach at the plate. He gets on base at a super high rate, and he has turned into a much better athlete than we once thought. He plays third base very well, much better than I expected. He's a better athlete than you have been led on, and I expect him to play most of the season at AA next year, get to AAA, and maybe even get a call up to the majors at some point. That bat is ready. He was awesome at the Futures game. Brett Baty can definitely mash. He's a much better athlete and a much better fielder. He's 100% one of the best third base prospects in minor league baseball. Look at the Mets with 2 top 6 guys. How about that? Ooh. Coming in at number 3. You know the Dodgers were going to find their way onto this list with another Cuban prospect, Miguel Vargas. Whew. Miguel Vargas, this dude can absolutely mash. Same thing. Baseball America and Prospectus love him. Some other publications not as high, and those people are crazy because, I mean, have you looked at this guy's numbers? Prior to 2021, not much. He was a good hitter, but the power never really was there. 2021, in his 21-year-old season between high A and AA, that's where Miguel Vargas really broke out. 23 homers, 27 doubles, and 76 RBIs with 11 stolen bases between the 2 levels. A 319 average, 380 on base, 526 slugging, and 906 OPS. A guy who has just flown up people's lists because the numbers, they're staggering. He looked really good as a 21-year-old last year. He'll be 22 this upcoming season. This is not really like the make or break year for him because he is just so talented and he's not going anywhere. But there's a world where Miguel Vargas, if he plays well enough, could crack his way at the major league level this year or be a part of a big trade package because he is a cornerstone third baseman for a franchise to have. His bat's just going to be absolutely incredible as he gets older. He is insanely talented. Big Miguel Vargas guy. Also crazy, just like a fun stat. Juan Soto's only a year older than like half the guys that I listed in this. Juan Soto's just so good. That's some random Juan Soto appreciation. Just missing out on the number 1 spot, coming in at number 2, and it really is more of a 1B and a 1A situation than 1 and 2. It's going to be Jordan Walker of the St. Louis Cardinals. Another guy I was just so incredibly high on in the 2020 draft. Granted, he was a first-round pick, so I'm not as cool, but I saw this guy play, I saw his tape, and I was like, he's going to be something special. Baseball Prospectus has him ranked as the number 7 prospect in all of baseball going into the season, and Baseball America has him at number 24. The kid is an absolute beast. In his first season in minor league baseball, 82 games between low A and high A. Again, as a 19-year-old, 14 homers, 25 doubles, 4 triples, and 48 RBIs, stealing 14 bases, hitting 317 with a 388 on base, 548 slugging, and a 936 OPS. At A-ball, low A, he hit 374 with a 475 on base. The exit velos are through the roof for Jordan Walker. I mean, just like Coby Mayo, he's a monster of a human. 6'5", 220, cannon of an arm, moves better than we expected. Again, the big concern with him was, would he be be able to stay at third base. He was a little gangly coming out of high school, but he's really filled into his body well. He's clearly mashing. I mean, 14 homers and 25 doubles in 82 games. That's an insane rate for a 19-year-old in his first professional season. The sky is the limit for Jordan Walker. Like I said, 1B to 1A. I have to put him at number 2 right now, technically, but boy, oh boy, he could be one of these guys who could crack the top 10 by the end of the year with another strong season, because he really is that good at the plate. Miles beyond his years. And then coming in at number 1, again, like 1A more so, Josh Jung of the Texas Rangers. He's just so good. Drafted number 8th overall back in 2019 out of Texas Tech University. A guy who in college I saw play and I was like, oh, he's really good. He's going to be sick. Went 8th overall, and I mean, he's looked sick. Texas Tech, he mashed. His first season at minor league ball was a little all over the place. Struggled a little bit in low A. But in 2021, he split time between AA and AAA, and yeah, he was just dominant. 78 games, 19 homers, 22 doubles, and 61 RBIs, hitting .326 with a .398 on base, .592 slugging, and a .990 OPS. And in case you're wondering, those stats aren't inflated from AA. At AAA, he actually had better slash lines across the board. He was getting on base more, hitting for a higher average, hitting for more power. He was just a better player at AAA, which is kind of crazy to say because he's only 23 years old. He's going to be 24 next year. He should be starting at third base for the Texas Rangers going into the season as long as he's healthy and everything goes right. Extremely talented player, absolutely monster bat. Again, you want to talk about another build. 6'2", 215. I mean, he's built like an ox. Josh Jung, whose brother is also at Texas Tech, someone you should keep an eye out for if you're a draft prospector. Talented baseball family, and he is my number 1 third base prospect in all of minor league baseball. Big Josh Jung guy. So there they are, my top 10 third base prospects in minor league baseball. I'd love to know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Drop a like on the video if you enjoy it. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out. Check out all my social media at GiraffeNeckMarc, links in the description. Tell me guys I missed out. Third base prospects that I should be keeping an eye out for in the 2022 season. I'd love to know what you're thinking. And that's where I'll wrap up today's video. You guys know the drill from here on out. YouTube recommends you watch this video. This is my most recent upload, so click through those if you have not yet seen them. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for another video. Bye.